Hello everyone, Lings. Welcome to another episode. I'm doing a stealth camp. I've dived into a local woods. It's chucking it down with rain, so I'm gonna have to do all this in the wet. It's been raining all day long, so I have to do all this in the wet. Something I've got to look forward to today is I bought a brand new tent. It was only £50. I'll tell you more about it later, as I've forgotten the make. I have to look at it when I get out. And as I say, it's only £50, so I'll be interested. It's having a good go today. It's having a good workout, shall we say. So I've no idea how it's gonna hold up or how well it's gonna do. It's really windy in here, even though I'm in the under the canopy. The wind's still getting through because it's so strong outside. So it's windy, it's raining, and it's only a cheap tent. And we'll see how it goes. So I apologise for not showing you the pack as it was packed down, but it's a funny rain. It's not constant. It is constant in the fact that when it dies down there's still like a spray, so it's constant in that sense. But every so often it just goes, really comes down. And I was anxious to get it up early, so I apologise for not showing you the pack size or me putting it up or anything like that. Maybe I'll do it on the next video, but at the moment it's soaking wet. It's in a pitch first, you see, so I had to sort of like it's quite straightforward. I didn't look at the instructions before I come out. I took the stuff out the bag to check that it was all present, but I didn't take the stuff out all the way out. So I've not read the instructions or anything, but it was really self-explanatory. You know, it's a dome tent, so it was just, you know, the poles to each corner, and that was it. You've got these little you see the pole goes into the little pin at the bottom, quite standard thing, and it runs up along there into the corner, and you've got two poles. They go in each diagonal corner, and then you clip the middle to the pole and tie it up in the center. That's it. And then you just throw the ground sheet over, the fly sheet over, and the fly sheet has inside there, all it has is one Velcro tab about so far inside to hold it onto the pole. And that's all it has. And you know what I like about it is that I haven't put a peg in yet. Look at this. Really, the whole thing is movable. You can set it up like that. Obviously you've got to peg it out, but initially you don't have to peg nothing, so you can move it all around. And get it where you want afterwards. I've never found that a necessity, because after you've used the tent a few times, you know the size of your tent. Well, I do, and I know what sort of size where I need it. I know where the door is, and I usually just put it down and get it right, because if you know your equipment. But a lot of people like that, and I've got to admit, given the choice, I'd have it, because it's handy. I don't need it, but it's handy. But that's just a little thing, you know, you can put it all up. I think that's a good beach one, you know, when you can't put your pegs in, you know, you're 80%, 90% of the way there, you know. But anyway, so I haven't quite finished yet. I've got to peg out the vestibule and peg out all the sides. I don't know if they expect you to put a peg in the bit I just showed you. It's like a ring, and I don't know if they expect you to put a peg in there. I guess it wouldn't hurt if the wind's strong. There is a wind in here, but I wouldn't say it's strong, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to rely on pegging all the tent down. Interesting, there's no guy ropes. They only get, oh god, the pegs though. As I said, I took it out just to see that everything was present, so I didn't actually unwrap it or anything, and I couldn't help a sneak peek at the pegs. Now, considering you don't have guy ropes to help you put it down, which is really unusual, even the cheapest tents have guy ropes, but it doesn't have any. It doesn't even have any loops to put them in. So it's not like they forgot them. There's nowhere to put it. These are the pegs. Now, I always use cheap pegs that come with it, because I'm not in extreme weather. I never go up to top of hills where it's blowing a gale. So the cheap pegs do it, but even I was kind of like, really, that's really thin. And this place I've come to has really soft ground, and with the weather the ground is really soft. So I was thinking it would have guy ropes and I'd have to be pulling tight on the guy ropes. I'm going to be pulling tight on the ground sheet, and the rest of you relies on tension as well. You need to pull that out. So yeah, it wasn't a waste. So because I preempted that, I bought a bag from Amazon for £20. A bag. Oh, I can't remember how much they were. I mean, I can't remember how many there are. I think it was a bag of 20 or 30 for, I said £20, it wasn't £20, it was nowhere near £20. God, I'm so rubbish at this. I never do reviews, I'm rubbish. It wasn't £20, that's a lot. I think it was because there's 20, and I think it was something like £8 or £9 or something for a pack of, you can get all the same colours. I just, for no particular reason, asked for multicoloured. And I like these ones because they're like, when you're looking down the centre, they're like a triangle, and when you can tell the difference between a rounded one, like the one I just showed you. If you pull on it, it starts to move, and these ones, when they go in, they're much stronger in the ground, and in this soft ground. But I thought I'd be putting guy ropes down. I do still need them for the fly, but so it wasn't a waste. But it's the first time ever I've got pegs like that and gone, nah, not using them, because even by my fairly weak weather camping I do, I didn't think that would be good enough, especially in this soft ground. So it's all up. Here it is. Stealth, stealth, stealth. Not bad. Now, as are with most tents, the vestibule's tension alone that's pulling it out, and that's the vestibule there. You can see it's not much. I haven't really got in there and played with it yet, but I've obviously opened it up and had a look inside, and it's very small vestibule, and it's it's at such an angle. Doesn't matter how hard to pull it. It's at such an angle. It's you know, when you're looking at it, it comes right like that. You know, instead of coming nice more upright. It's like so. If I have to cook inside it because of the rain tonight, that's dodgy. And obviously because there's no guys, and you just throw the fly sheet over the top, and it attaches in the corner, nice and easy. That the corners of the fly hook onto the same ring that the pegs are, that the poles are on, which is why you can move the whole thing around. But that does make the inner really close to the outer, really super close. So I question. It's a 2-man. It's a surprisingly light. It's really light for a 2-man, really light, and it really packs down small. As I say, I wish I'd have shown you it packed down. It fits into, maybe this will help. Fits into there. So it's quite long, but it's really narrow. It's a really narrow bag, and it's extremely light. But there's no guys in it, no pegs for the guys, and it is thinner and cheaper material. Lovely big vent. That's the vent all the way across there. Look, huge. Although the little things that to hold it up are bending already. Yeah, they're not taking the strength of the vent. One of them is anyway. It's not stiff enough, so that's a bit of disappointment. But yeah, it's a Vida XL. This is down there. Vida XL. They had quite a few tents in there, and I was hemming and hawing over all of them, because they were quite reasonably priced and quite big and nice, and they had quite a few on Amazon, and I did sort of go back and forth. But you know, a lot of people will probably be able to really pick holes in this, and I could if I really tried, but it's £50, you know. I'm expecting a £50 tent, so I'm expecting certain things, but you know, I haven't used it, so I don't want to say what I'm expecting it to do and how I'm expecting it to hold up and what I'm expecting to happen. I can tell some initial design possibilities, but that's not you know, it doesn't, I haven't used it yet. So but anyway, it's a good size. It's as I say, it's a 2-man tent. It's really big inside. I'll get cracking on filling it up and stowing away my extremely colourful, you know, that's the other thing. It's a 2-man tent, but you wouldn't be able to store anything in the vestibule. It's too big. So I was hoping to put all my wet bags in there, but it's not going to happen, I don't think, because it is a really small vestibule, which means they have to go in with me, which means they're going to get the inside wet. So yeah, don't know. If it was a dry day, I'll throw it all inside the tent and I'll have so much space. It's unbelievable because it is really big in there. This could end up being quite a short film, because for the first time ever, since I've had this channel, I've had it good 2.5 years. It's 2.5 years of going out stealth camping and whatever. This is the first time I ever remember having to sort of set everything up and just dive in the tent and stay there. I like to sit outside. The reason I go camping is because I like to sit outside and enjoy the weather. But it's brutal out there. I mean, when I turned up, it was quite on and off. It was heavy, then it sort of eased off and heavy. It's just brutal out there. The wind is howling and the rain's pouring, and it's just I've no choice but to come inside, which is a kind of a bummer. I love camping, so I love, you know, there's being outside and there's camping. The two together is awesome. I can't be outside, but I love camping, so you know. But the tent's holding up all right in past tense, even though I'm doing it now. It's holding up all right. I have there's loads of space. Look at that. I can sit up. No problem. It's my light. Got a little Tommy dangler off the middle of the tent. So that's good. I think, I don't know if that's possible to see, but I think the inner's quite close to the out. I mean, there's a lovely massive pocket here, and put your bits and bobs here, and that has actually pulled it away from the outer bits. That's a poor example, but look how close it is there. It's almost touching there. In fact, I think it might actually be touching. It is touching in some places. And it's a good distance there. That huge vent, I closed one because it was pooling outside. I didn't close one vent. It's one vent, but it had two little sticky out rods, and I closed one of them so the rain would run off because it was pooling in there. And here's the vestibule. So that's a concern. I mean, so and I think the material's stretched a little bit, where it's been just constantly hammered with rain the whole time I've been here, and I think the material, not being the most expensive of materials, is sagged a little bit, which hasn't helped. And here's my vestibule. That's not big, is it? That's the vestibule, and this is sagged a lot. Again, could be, I pulled it as hard, you know, this zip, it's at the end of the zip, so I can only pull it as hard as that zip will only let it go so far. Yes, I can't pull it that way any further, and I can't pull it that way any further because the corner of it's attached to the poles, so the poles stop you from, you know, pulling it more taut. So that's the best as I'm going to get. Admittedly, it has sagged a bit, and I think that's due to perhaps the poor weather. But yeah, that's your cooking space there if it's pouring down rain. Which is basically you can't cook in there. As far as the inside is concerned, I've got being a two-man. Sorry for swinging around all the time. I obviously haven't got to try. Oh, so tell you something else. All my wet gear, the over bags that go over the top of the rucksacks, I took them off. My raincoat, I took them off, and I've stored them outside. Again, sorry for the jingly janglers. There it is. My coat, an umbrella. So I put my coat, and I brought an umbrella with me, and that was the sole reason for doing it. Is a quick and easy shelter. So I use my tripod as a stand, and I've tied the brolly to the stand, and I've hung my coat and my wet covers for the bags. I bought 2 bags with me because I had so much stuff, because it was I knew it was going to chuck it down and stuff. I bought you know, a set of waterproofs with me, and I bought an extra thick coat with me, and it ended up swelling into another bag. It's not a biggie, want a heavy bag, just means carrying a bag. So I've got a cover for both of those, so they both got soaking wet. You saw them, they're extremely bright colours, and now the sun's gone down, I've put them out there. They weren't out there before. Now the sun's gone down, you can't see them, because they're bright during the day, but as soon as night comes they don't have any bright qualities at all. So anyway, I've put them under the brolly, and that's so I don't have to bring them in here. So I'm completely dry in here, and all my clothes are dry in here. So so it's a 2-man tent, so there's bags of room. So what I've done is I've you know stored various things. There's my bag. I've put a little table up. I did wonder if that would actually create more space. I've just had a snack, by the way. Num num, love them. I don't know if that would create take up more space. Actually, it could even go back a bit. But no, that allows you to store underneath. So all loads of stuff that was here went underneath there. So it hasn't actually it's a good solid surface to put stuff on, because you wouldn't believe the amount of times I've put a cup on the floor inside the tent and then knocked it over. It's a good solid surface to put stuff on, and I can store stuff underneath it, which actually creates more space. And then there's the other bag I bought, still with my coat and stuff inside it. And at the end, because I never put my shoes outside because I don't want creepy crawlies and slugs and stuff crawling in them, I bought my shoes in, and I put them on a sit mat to keep the floor dry. I always sleep with my boots, even in my 1-man tent. I bring the boots in. Yeah, as I say, and also the vestibule, you know, things can still get wet inside the vestibule, so I always bring them in. So yeah, and then the rest of it, I haven't blown my bed up yet, but there's the rest of it is the sleep, and I've still got bags of room. I can still sit up in the tent. It's a good height, so I can still sit up in it. So it's not uncomfortable and completely cramped in here. So it's not a terrible place to be if you have to. It has been really being pummeled with the weather, and that concerns me about you know, how well it's going to hold up. So far everything's dry. So, but I think if it rains enough, I don't know this particular tent, but speaking generally, if it rains enough, I think it's going to start seeping through. So I can only hope it eases off and gives it a break, at least to dry out a bit and start up again later, but just give it a break, because if it's relentless all night, I think it will leak, because cheap tents do. If you hit them hard enough for long enough, they do. But as you can hear, it's not easing off. So that's it. That's the inside of the tent. I'm pleased with the room. I'm pleased with the headroom. I'm pleased with how easy it was to put up. Things, because of the design, I can't put it as tight as I'd like. Odd that there's not only no guy ropes, but there's actually nowhere to attach some to if you buy some yourself. That's the first tent I've ever bought, cheap or not, where they don't give you guy ropes. So I think that's odd. But you know, I never use it. Oh, that's another thing I never thought of. I don't know if this is good or bad. I don't know, but there's a little slit in there to put your cable through to run electricity off. So if you're at a campsite with electricity, you can run a cable through. So it's in this corner here. There's a little hole to run your cable into, so you can have electricity. And on the outside of the inner tent, it has a little plug symbol to, you know, it's not like a rip. And I've gone, oh, yeah, that's a good cable point. It is actually a proper cable point, which is odd for this type of tent. You know, you could backpack in this tent. You know, it's lighter than some of my other 2-man, which are backpacking tents. In fact, it's lighter than all my 2-man backpacking tents. It is a backpacking tent, so it's odd to have a little area to bring your cable in, but yeah, maybe that's a good thing. Who knows? It doesn't zip up or anything, so you know, you've got your fly sheet and your air vents to keep the bugs out, and then they put a hole in the bottom that you can't do up, so bugs can come in that way. Yeah, I don't know, I might put a bit of tape across it at a later date. But anyway, so that was kind of good, but I want to say it's good, but I don't think I'll ever use it. So, but unusual, so we say. But on the whole, no, I'm pleased with it, and it has taken a lot of rain, and it's kept me dry so far. So, yeah, I am actually quite pleased with it. £50, not bad. They do a whole range of tents. It's kind of made me want to think about getting another one in the future from the same company, because they had another one that I really like the look of as well. Yeah, the vestibule, I don't like the vestibule, obviously, and when you open the outer door, this slants so much that rain was coming straight into the inside, because as soon as you open it, the rain, you know, you've exposed the inside, because it slants, it's not upright. It's like, and I don't like that design. I've tried to avoid that design like the plague before, but the vestibule looks so much bigger on the pictures that I didn't think that would be too much of an issue. But yeah, I had to sort of quickly unzip it and throw everything in it and zip it back up again until I was ready to come in, because everything was getting wet as soon as you opened the outer door, which I've never really been a fan of that design. But you know, I thought that was sold by a much bigger vestibule, which pulls the material so far away from the inner tent that that wouldn't be an issue. But yeah, I'm really disappointed with the lack of size of the vestibule, because you know, what's the point of a vestibule if you can't actually do anything in it? I can store a couple of bits in it, but it's not really much use. You know, if you're using it on your own, then you've got so much space inside that's not terrible. But cooking in here, it's forcing you to do it inside the main tent, because it's not really possible to. I'm going to try it later. I don't think it's possible to cook in the vestibule, but I'm going to have dinner later, so I'll try it. So that worked out all right. The rain eased off enough for it to be just gentle enough for me to be able to open stick it in the vestibule and open the front a little bit, and that worked out all right. I did a boil in the bag on Uncle Ben's rice, then chucked chicken tikka masala curry in there, and then put the rice back in with the curry and mixed it all up. And it's becoming a bit of a tradition, actually. I seem to have curries a lot when I'm camping, tin curry. Yeah, so anyway, they worked out all right. It seems to have eased off a bit now, thank God. There's splitty splats on the roof, but I think that is because it coincides with a gust of wind. I think it's just blowing off the trees, so it's giving me a rest, if nothing else, temporarily. It's like, oh, there's my phone. It was my phone going off. It's only just stopped now at what's it, 11:30. It's only just stopped now, and I get the odd, it's quite windy as well, I'm getting the odd gust of wind blasting, and then that's sort of shaking the trees and making more rainfall. But for the time being, it stops. An odd one, because it's complete silence like this, and then suddenly a gust to just blow in. It's not like a constant wind, it's just suddenly just woof, and then all the trees shake. It's a bit concerning. I can hear things dropping. There goes another gust now. I can hear, I think it's just like branches snapping and coming to the hit, because yeah, you can like hear them hitting all the other branches as they drop to the ground in quite a loud thud. That's concerning, considering I'm under a bunch of trees. But I had a look up with me a torch, and it's like, I thought I just heard another one. But the trees I'm under are really thin, and the branches are really thin, so I think it's I deliberately came on into an area that was sort of they're kind of trees, but they're very thin. So I don't think I've got that worry, but in the distance on the actual area where there's thick trees, I can hear branches snapping and hitting the ground. But as I said, I think I'm safe. But yeah, so that's that for tonight. It's eased off a bit, and that's kind of what dictated me going to sleep, really, because it's like more quieter, so I'll be able to drift off, I think, now. Good morning. I've woken up to a completely different day. It's the sun's out. It's really blustery. There's it's not a constant thing, but every so often I get a real strong bluster, and all the trees are swinging around and quite strongly, and then it dies down, and then there's suddenly a big bluster again. So but you know, I can see through the trees, and there's a blue sky and the sun's out, so it's a completely different morning. But I slept well. I did wake up a few times, not because of the weather, because I'm on a bit of a slant, and the bed keeps slipping, so I woke up to keep pushing it back, because it was pushing me into the table and stuff, and I kept knocking the table. So that was the only reason why. This mat slips around on the foil thing quite a lot. You've got to be completely flat for it not to do that. Wish there was some way I could make it grippy. Anyway, yeah, it was a good sleep, and at least looks like I might have the chance to dry the tent out this morning. So I'm going to see if I can stay long enough for the tent to dry out, because it's a bit condensation-y inside. It's not too bad, actually. It's not terrible. As I say, there's a bit of a breeze, and that's helped keep that down. But I'm going to there's a few drips on the side. I might be able to actually get away with putting this away dry, which would be nice, because I think it stopped raining somewhere during the night, and then it's been quite well protected in the forest. I think it's really windy out there by the sounds of it, but I am getting the odd blustery. It's so strong it's actually sort of making it through every so often, but that might be enough to dry it out. I don't know. I've got my coffee, and I shall drink that and then start to pack. Right then, all packed up and ready. I imagine this is probably gonna, obviously I don't know until I've edited it, but a relatively short film, because I couldn't get to spend any time outside. I mean, I still enjoyed it. You know, there's two sides to camping: the camping bit and the being outside with all the elements and that bit. And I had half of that. I had one side, so you know, I did enjoy it, and it's nice being out in the rain, to be honest. And it's nice being, I don't know, you see, it's nice being all cozy in your tent, and I had everything set up right with a little table and all that, and I've really sort of enjoyed that part of it as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's you know, as I'm saying, I didn't have the outside bit, but I actually really enjoyed it, because as I'm thinking about it, I liked all aspects of that as well. So it was a success, and the tent held up all right. I mean, that's his first outing, and it got pummeled with rain all night long, and as long as I stopped pressing the inner to the outer, it's not a problem. Can you see me? Sun. It's really sunny now. Yeah, so I just was, and it's a two-man tent, so as a two-man that might be a bit difficult to try and do that, but as a one-man that was really easy. All my stuff was along the edge, but I pulled it in away from the wall. I pulled my bed away from the wall. Yeah, no problem at all. And that big vent, it's a huge vent, is I could feel the air coming in. Wouldn't say it was a winter tent, but that really helped the condensation. I've put it away dry in the end. I left it out for a couple of hours in the morning with the wind and the sun on it. It just needed a little bit of a dry with the towel. I hung it up for a bit while I did bits, and I put it away dry. So despite all that immense weather, I put it away dry. So that's a bonus. Anyone that goes camping knows what a hassle it is when you've got to get it home and take it back out again. And I don't know what you do, stick on the line. I stick on the line. So that's a major bonus. So yeah, successful camp really, despite, you know, the weather, and I really enjoyed it. And I wish I could have done more about showing you putting it up and stuff like that, but it was throwing it down rain and I was getting soaked. So I might take it out on the next camp and show some aspects of it that I missed the first time. But yeah, small vestibule. Don't like small vestibules. I like to be able to cook in there when the weather's as it was, and that was really difficult because you're just putting steam inside your tent and making it even more wet. So yeah, so that side of it wasn't good, but other than that, it held up really well for a £50 tent. Bonus. Anyway, I'm off now, and I'll see you next time.